Hello my dear students, welcome each and every one of you to this video. In today's lecture, we are going to study on a story called A Stranger Walks into Town, written by Victor Marie Hugo. About the poet Victor Marie Hugo, he was born in the year 1805 and he died in the year 1885. He was a Frenchman, a French novelist, poet, and a dramatist. In the 18th century, Victor Marie Hugo was considered to be the greatest and best known writer. Even today in France, he is considered to be one of the best writers. About the storyline, this story, A Stranger Walks into Town, is extracted from the novel called Les Miserables, written by Victor Hugo. And in this story, we are going to learn about the sufferings, about the troubles faced by a Frenchman named Jean Valjean. So this Jean Valjean was imprisoned, or he was put to jail for stealing the bread. We call it a loaves. So he was in jail for 19 years and he stole the bread to feed the hungry children of his younger sister during the economic crisis in France. And we are going to see that after coming out from the prison, this Jean Valjean comes into a small town called Digny, and what problems and difficulties he faces in this town called Digny. Okay, I am going to discuss with you the summary of the story, A Stranger Walks into Town. Okay, the story begins in the year 1815, in the early month of October, and the time is evening time. Now, at this time, a man was traveling by foot. And he enters into a small town called Digny. And now this man is Jean Valjean. He comes out from the jail, and from sunrise till evening he is walking and he enters the Digny town. So all the inhabitants of this Digny town stared at this man, at Jean Valjean, because of his rigid looks. He was dusty all over. He was only carrying an army knapsack. He had a long beard. He looked very tired and very exhausted. So all the inhabitants of this Digny town, through out the window and from the dress hall, started staring at the man with a suspicious mind. This man seemed to be very tired, very exhausted. He must have been traveling the whole day. And we will also see in the story that he was so thirsty that within 10 minutes he stopped 2 times to drink the water from the fountains that was in the pavement of the highway, or in the footpath of the highway. There was a tap or a knob, and within 10 minutes the man stopped 2 times to drink the water, telling us that he was very thirsty. Now, as he continued his journey, he came across a town hall. So now a town hall, the meaning is written here, a large building that contains the local government officers. So he comes across a town hall, and at the entrance of the town hall, a gendarme or a French police officer was sitting. So this Jean Valjean took off his cap and saluted the police officer. But the police officer did not salute him back or say anything. He just stared or gazed at Jean Valjean with a suspicious mind. So crossing the town hall, he continued his journey. He walked on, and after a few minutes, he comes across an inn. Now what is an inn? Inn is an hotel where we find both food and lodging. So the owner of the inn, Jacqueline Lepery is the name of the owner of the inn. He welcomed the man and he asked the man, that is Chen Wiljin, what he wants. So Chen Wiljin said, I need food and shelter. I'm tired. I've been working the whole day. Give me food and a place to rest. I have money and I will pay you for that. That's what the man or the Chen Wiljin replied to the owner of the hotel. Now as Chen Wiljin seated himself inside the hotel and was warming himself in the fire, this Jacqueline Lepery started suspecting this man. He looked very distinguished. He was carrying an army knapsack and he looked very different. So the owner of the hotel started suspecting him. So to find out who this man really was, he takes out the pencil from his pocket and write a note, fold it and give it to the servant and asks his servant to go and give this letter to the police or the officers in the town hall. So the servant went, give the letters to the people or the officers who are already there in the town hall, and taking the reply from them, he comes back. The servants come back and handed the letter to the owner of the hotel, that is Jacqueline Lepery. Now when Chen Wiljin first walked into the hotel, the owner of the hotel welcomed him. He said, you will get everything. I will give you food. I will give you shelter. But now suddenly, after getting the reply from the town hall, everything is changed. The owner of the hotel suddenly says, I cannot offer you food. I cannot offer you a place to rest. And he also says, I suspected you from the beginning or from the moment you entered the hotel. I know your name. Your name is Chen Wiljin. Now here, we exactly don't know what this Jacqueline Lepery or the owner of the hotel wrote in this note to the police officers and what was the reply from the police officers. But they all suspected this man. But we are sure that the police have written something against this man, that is Chen Wiljin. So the owner of the hotel denied to give him food, denied to give him a place to rest. Now, Chen Wiljin have no option. The owner of the hotel says, I am a polite man, I don't want to harm you. Please go away from my hotel before anything happens. Left with no options, Chen Wiljin picks up his knapsack, takes his walking stick and he walks out of the hotel. And as he was walking, a few moments later, he comes across a prison, a jail. Now he was so tired, he really wanted to rest. He knocked at the gate of the prison, and when the wicket or the gatekeeper opened the gate, the prison gate, he asked, may I get some rest? Or may I have a place to rest? At this, the gatekeeper got stunned and he said, this is a prison. Unless you make some mistakes or you are got by the police for doing some culprit, you cannot enter this house simply. We cannot open the gate for you. There is no place for you to rest. So again, left with no choice, he walked on and he walked on. And a few moments later, in a small street, he comes across a very beautiful one single-story building. All the lights in that house was turned on. All the curtains were also open. He could see everything inside the house from outside through the window. He went near the house, and when he peeped inside the house, there were two persons, a man and a woman, most probably a husband and wife. The man was playing with his child, making his child dance on his knees. The man seems to be very happy, and on his side there was a woman, his wife, and that lady was nursing or feeding the young baby, another young baby. So now, both these men seem to be very generous. They seem to be a good person. They seem to be very happy. So now, dear Chen Wilton stop. He paused and he gets a hope. And he thinks and he tells himself, at least these two persons will let me in. I will get some pity. I will get some generosity from these two men. I pray that they give me food and a place to rest. So this is how the story ends. If you read the entire novel, Less Measurable, we will learn everything, all the sufferings, all the pains and all the troubles that Chen Wilton undergoes after he comes out from the prison, when he enters the dignity town, and what happens after this story. Everything follows in the novel. So for today, I have discussed with you the summary of the story. Watch the video repeatedly to understand it properly. And here are some few new words that I have given you along with the meanings. Write it down neatly on your copybook. So thank you all of you. Thank you for watching my video.